Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network, December 30th. Almost the new year. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Fish is excited. I don't think anyone else in this room is excited, clearly. No one's clapping.
Why are you guys not excited?
No. Too late. You guys had your chance to clap it up. No problem. Whatever. Whether you're tuning in live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, thank you for joining, or you're listening live on the Woodward Sports app, we appreciate you for joining us this morning. Jeff, welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
I forgot his trophy at home.
It's okay. It's all right. Never too late for a trophy.
Well,
we can do it tomorrow.
There
We'll
is
do
a
it tomorrow.
show tomorrow, so you can bring it tomorrow.
Yep. Sorry.
It's okay.
Remind me to bring his trophy that he earned tomorrow. Please don't let me forget.
Bring the trophy tomorrow, Adam.
You don't remind me now. I know right now. I won't know it maybe at 10 o'clock at night or maybe tomorrow morning.
That's why I love you,
Just
Fish.
shoot me a text.
I will.
Thank you.
But bring the trophy.
All right, buddy. Jeff, your Pistons.
Oh, God.
They suck.
Yeah.
And that's me being very nice. They're 5-28. I know no Cade. I know there's a lot of problems. Yeah. COVID is absolutely destroying the NBA at the moment, but this is a really bad basketball team.
Oh, I tweeted last night. I said, this is horrendous. Once you saw the injury report, you saw all 10, I think it was 12 players in total that were missing yesterday. And yes, you know, Hamidou Diallo, Sadiq Bey, first two players to have 30-plus points on the Pistons since about 2 years ago. So you could take that from it, but you could take a whole lot of negative. And what I took from it, listen, 12 players are out, most in health and safety protocols. They needed 8 hardship players, Cassius Stanley, Derek Walton, our guy we brought in the studio to interview one time. They had tons of guys, Jamarco Pickett, Luka Garza starting at center last couple games. It was a near impossible game to win. The Knicks were missing a couple guys, but they were pretty much healthy. And really, the team that last night, I watched them. Wasn't feeling good. I decided to turn on the Pistons, and it honestly got me sicker. I was watching them, and the first half, they couldn't just put it together. Third period, they had a great third quarter. They outscored them, I believe, 30-16, and then they couldn't. I mean, they only could go as far as Diallo and Bey could take them, and ultimately, I mean, you got two guys that score 63 of your total 85 points. I mean, that's an impressive performance, but it's not ideal. And it's honestly, I said this last night. I almost tweeted it. I was talking to my buddy about it. This is really the time for Pistons fans to just evaluate this roster. I mean, you are not going to win more than probably, it's going to be around 20 games. I mean, I said before the season over 25 and a half. That's a miracle at this point, considering all the COVID, everyone's out with COVID and or injuries. So right now, you're just evaluating guys. I mean, you saw last night, Hamidou Diallo with all the you understand Sadiq Bey, obviously, the guy's a baller. But guys like Hamidou Diallo, someone that didn't play a whole lot the first 15 games of the season, now he's starting to play. And last night, 10 to 12 players out. Hamidou steps up, gets 32 points, I believe. So that's what you can take from it. I mean, you find guys that you want to keep for the future, obviously, but They really played with energy last night. I mean, they had the home crowd going crazy for them, but you could see them kind of burn out towards the end of the third quarter, and the Knicks just went on a run. It was really a case of a more healthy, more experienced, more talented roster getting a win, and not even an LCA crowd that was going ridiculously. They were pretty packed last night, because surprising. I mean, they were packed considering how many guys were out. Cade's out, Killian's out, Stewart's out, but It was depressing. The only positive thing I took, Adam, is probably seeing Dwayne Casey back with the team, coaching him again. I think that's a positive thing. He was out for a couple games due to some personal issues, so glad to see him back. But other than that, man, I mean, you ain't watching Cade, you're not watching Killian.
Can someone explain the box score to me?
The box score is very confusing. You got two guys.
Starting five for the New York Knicks
minus 30. Yeah.
We're all in the minus 20s except the starting point guard who only played 13 minutes. Mm-hmm. The bench. Plus 36, plus 31, plus 39, plus 28, plus 27. What the hell is their bench on?
And you know what, Adam? That's the case of an NBA bench facing a G League team, essentially, last night. That bench, man. I mean,
Julius Randle had 5 points. If I told you going into the night. Julius Randle had 5 points. Mitchell Robinson had 7. Kemba Walker had 2.
Kemba had 2!
And I told you that RJ Barrett had a plus-minus on the court of minus 29. Well, what would you think happened? You would think the Pistons actually probably won the game. The bench, Alex Burks went off for 34 points. I mean, guys, this season is really frustrating at this point. Diallo had a nice night. Saddiq Bey had a nice night. Luka Garza struggled again. I mean, this is bad. But this is a rebuild. And you have to remember that. You guys asked for this.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you guys were calling in for years and years, complaining, shouting on Twitter. 8th seed, I don't want it. Andre Drummond, get him out of here. Blake Griffin, get him out of here. And to be honest, I was one of those people. I was very vocal about not accepting mediocrity, and it was time for that team to go into a rebuild. Here you are. You're in a rebuild. That's what a rebuild looks like. Unfortunately, COVID makes it a lot more dramatic than it is.
Yeah.
But 5-28, welcome to an actual rebuild. You have to accept it. I had Ku on yesterday. We talked a little bit about this. And he said this is what a rebuild is as well. And Pistons fans probably overly excited before the season because of what they saw last year. Didn't take into account how young this team was going to be. No veteran presence at all.
No.
And now Jeremy Grant's going to be shopped. And look, sorry. I hate to do this. It's 8:06 in the morning. But damn it, when I tell you something's going to happen, you should shut the hell up and listen. I tell you before the season, Jeremy Grant was going to get traded and that they should trade him.
Yeah.
I was, oh, no.
We all mutually...
No! Don't do it! You can't. You'll mess up the team. What's wrong with you? Jeremy Grant being shopped reportedly to a contending team around the league. The Suns, the Lakers, the Celtics maybe. Who knows? It was never a fit. He was like a stopgap in Detroit, just like Blake Griffin was. It was never meant for anything more than here for a year or two and goodbye.
Yeah. Develop his game.
You have your kids that you want to grow and you want to see flourish. Saddiq Bey, Cade Cunningham. That's your main two. Great. Figure out the rest. And you're in a rebuild, so you have time to do it. That's what a rebuild looks like, and it ain't pretty.
Hold on. I understand the rebuild, but you know what kind of makes me upset as a Pistons fan? I mean, you're watching this team last year. They won 20 games at them, and if you watched last year, they were competing night in, night out. And I get this year, COVID, a lot of guys out. I get that. But let's take the small sample size when this team was healthy, and you added a number 1 overall pick in Cade Cunningham. It still feels like they regressed. And you look, early in the season, they had Cade, they had Kelly, they had Jeremy, they had Saddiq, Killian, Isaiah Stewart. They had everybody, and Dwayne Casey, and they still were losing games. So I get what you're saying, but it is a little disappointing to me. I mean, I'm going to sit here and say, listen, the COVID protocols have not helped this team, but to see them regress that much...
I don't think they've regressed, though. I think they're just
have.
extremely young and inexperienced.
I think they've
don't see regression outside of Saddiq Bey to start the year.
But I mean, not individually.
So overall, is it, team
They're
record?
not competing
well, team
night in,
record
night
wise,
out.
yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Last year, you saw them competing.
Yeah.
They were losing games late in the fourth quarter.
Right.
You kind of saw that a little early on in the year, but here we are, and it's not pretty.
No.
But you have to accept it. And is picking in the top 2, top 3 this year going to change your franchise around that following season? I don't think so. You really need veteran help. Yes, Jeremy Grant would be classified as a veteran, but he is a number 3 on a team full of superstars. Your team does not have superstars yet, so he's obviously the number 1, which is problematic. So you need to move on from Jeremy Grant. It's that simple. Jeff, before we go, I did want to get your opinion on Jeremy Grant and trading him.
Yep.
What are your expectations in terms of what you're going to get in return for Jeremy Grant?
You know what? This is the perfect time because now you have a lot of teams that, maybe expected to go farther that aren't doing so well right now. You have the Lakers. You have even the Mavericks. There's tons of teams, and this is why we love that Troy Weaver waited. And me and Adam discussed this earlier in the year. And it's funny you brought this up. The idea of trading Jeremy Grant, we both were on board with it. Not because we hate Jeremy Grant, because it made the most sense. Right now, you're not in a win-now mode. Jeremy Grant's, 27, 28 years old. You can get, pieces for him now. Depends what team's more desperate. I mean, there's going to be tons of teams that are in the conversation considering, the Lakers with Russell Westbrook is a disaster. The Mavericks need help.
Are they, though? I don't think so. I think the Lakers are fine. Look, they lost last night 104-99 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant dropped 41 on Russell Westbrook.
led.
But Russell Westbrook got a triple-double. So why the hell does it matter?
Don't go
Losers.
Don't
You guys
go.
are such losers. Defending this guy who is literally the definition of a loser.
It's so bad, man.
who, wherever he goes, they lose. The opposite of LeBron James. Yet we glorify him and, oh, he's a top 10 point guard, Adam. Shut up. No, he's not. No, he's not.
I've never seen one player, and I'm not blaming only Russ, but I've never seen one player be such a responsibility for how a team really performs, especially the Lakers this year.
I've never seen a player dribble up the court, stare at the player he wants to pass to,
and get a turnover. Yeah.
And turn the ball over.
Yeah, I know.
The way he does.
I know.
He'll hit it off of his head. He'll throw it out of bounds. He'll try to do a no-look pass.
Missing layups.
He'll run up the court and jack up a three because he feels like it, because he's Russell freaking Westbrook. I love his energy. Nothing else.
Yeah, the energy, yeah.
And thank God the Detroit Pistons didn't pursue him.
Oh,
thank God. I would be down at LCA every day.
Yeah.
I would be one of those Karens. I would have a megaphone, and I would be screaming at the top of my lungs, no Russ, no Russ. I don't know what the hell I would say. I didn't come prepared for a chant, but
you would just
the point is,
boycott.
I would be down there with a pitchfork and a megaphone. And it would take the police to get me to leave.
No, it's quite sad. But Jeremy Grant, man, it depends. They're probably going to get a first-round pick, maybe some other assets for him. It just depends who's offering what, I guess. I mean, I heard the whole Laker, Talon Horn, Tucker, and who else was it? Chris Dunn for not Chris Dunn. Forgot the guy who went to Oakland University, Kendrick Nunn. There it is. And then the first-round pick or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know. It depends. Whatever you can get assets for him, great. Do it. We'll see, though. It depends. I don't care. Move him to the Western Conference. We're good with that.
Fair enough. All right, well, we got to go to break. When we get back, Amon Ra St. Brown has now been coached.
We talked about
or
this
compared,
before.
excuse me, to Hines Ward for the second time in less than 10 days. And I believe 2-3 weeks ago, we made that comparison on the show along with the chat. I find that very interesting. And I see it. I don't see him as a bona fide 115 reception, 1,500 guy, and I don't think you really need that at this point.
Right.
But the point is, you have something there. I can't wait to talk about it. But before we go, Jeff, could you tell everybody about Northwestern Tech?
Yeah, considering what I saw out of those Pistons last night, a couple of those guys can use Northwestern Tech because you could start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. You can learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, joint.
It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. I swear that is always a tongue twister. I'll never get over it. But regardless, Amon Ra St. Brown. The next Hines Ward, Jeff, do you agree or disagree with the comparison to one of the better receivers in the NFL that has ever played? And I'll start by saying this. The physicality is there.
It's there. Run blocking. Yeah. What did Fish?
Can we put the camera on Alex so you guys can understand what I'm going through? Put up the sign and put on the camera. This is what I get. But what is this? What the hell are we doing here? Trying to work. You just sitting there putting up your sign? What's wrong with you?
Just leave it up there.
Look, just because you took a booster yesterday and you feel like dog crap doesn't mean you have to take it out on the rest of us. All right, some of us are trying to work here.
Sorry, you probably deserve it for something you're going to say today.
What you think? Because I have a lot I'm going to say today.
True.
All right.
I love Alex. He doesn't talk a whole lot. He just holds up the FU sign.
All right. Regardless, look, I like the comparison. Amon Ra St. Brown to Hines Ward.
Yeah.
Now, production-wise, are you going to get 11, 12, 1,300 yards? I hope so, especially in today's NFL. But the physicality, the run routing tree that he has, that I think is where the comparison draws. I don't think anybody's... And the size.
Yep.
Very similar in size. So I like the comparison. I think, one, it's fair. Two, if you had to give somebody a ceiling, Hines Ward is a hell of a ceiling to reach.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with it. So I was driving in this morning thinking, okay, Amon Ra St. Brown, the next Hines Ward. I like it. Am I expecting him to be Hines Ward? No, but
No.
I like the fact that that's your player comp. Because when we compare you to players like this, that's a good thing. It means, one, you're doing something right. And two, it means people can see what you can become.
Right.
And that could be 2-3 years down the line. It doesn't have to be next season. But the fact that you stole this kid, in the 4th round?
Mm-hmm.
Makes it all sweeter.
Hines was a 3rd-round pick, too. So you got two guys similar, gritty, overlooked, and Amon Ra has been asked in the past, who does he resemble, or who does he resemble his game after? His answer, definitely Hines Ward, 100%. And you talked about the terrific run-blocking ability. You can bring that up. He's physical. And Anthony Lynn mentioned this. They talked to Anthony Lynn a couple weeks ago. He said, listen, I think the biggest comparison you can make between them is Amon Ra, like Hines Ward, knows when to be shifty, when not to be. And that's kind of what you were alluding to. It's funny, I mentioned Ward was a 3rd-round pick. St. Brown was a 4th-round pick. Both were a bit overlooked initially. And another thing to add, I was looking up, I want to compare them. I want to look up their career-wise. Hines Ward didn't play a lot his rookie year. And he had the, sophomore in his 3rd year, breakout, over 600 yards. And then his 4th year is when he, first of 4 Pro Bowls, he finally eclipsed 1,000 yards. And that's kind of the trajectory you hope Amon Ra right now. Rookie year, he's already kind of ahead of Hines Ward. But can he, career-wise match Hines Ward? That's not yet to be determined. But as of right now, 600, 700 yards your rookie year, it's pretty damn special, considering especially how Hines Ward
didn't get more than 700 yards until his 4th year in the league. So, look, different league. Hines Ward came in 1998. But the point is, when you have a player comp to one of the better receivers of all time, and not just better receivers, but one of the better blocking receivers of all time, physical receivers, and you think of a Dan Campbell football team, what does it look like?
Too.
Professional, gritty, willing to fight, block, do all the little things it takes to win. And the fact that you have that in a guy, in Amon Ra St. Brown, who's a 4th-round pick, I think makes it so much better. You look around the league, the Steelers are famous for drafting receivers in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round.
Yep.
The receivers in the NFL that are at the top of their class, Michael Thomas, 2nd-round pick.
DK Metcalf, look how late he fell.
End of the 1st, I believe, but still.
No, he was
a 2nd-round pick?
A lot of teams passed on DK, too.
I knew there were a lot of teams passed on him. I could have sworn they took him at the end of the 1st on a flyer,
no,
didn't they?
He was deep 2nd. Yeah.
Really?
Him and A.J.
Wow.
Brown, both. Old Miss teammates, both deep 2nd.
That's awesome.
It's crazy to
that's
think
good to
about
hear.
that.
But look, man, I really like it. He's having a hell of a season. And if you would have told me before the year started that he would have led the team in receptions and yards, I would have told you that's amazing. Not only is that amazing, that's what you want. You're in a rebuild year. No one's really expecting 10 wins outside of a few crackheads. And we all know who one of them is.
Crackman. Yeah.
Crackman.
Yeah.
So outside of those people, everybody knew this was a rebuild. And the fact that you have an opportunity to get this kid almost 100 targets throughout the whole season, his growth, it just enhances his growth potential.
Yeah.
And it really pushes him forward.
Yeah.
Like, what was the biggest issue we had at the trade deadline? Everybody clamoring for a receiver. Get a receiver.
Even with Galladay. Re-sign Galladay.
Get a receiver.
I heard a lot of that before, though.
Get a receiver. Get a receiver.
Yep.
And the argument here was, no, do not get a receiver and give the targets to the young kids because you need to see what you have in them. Hines Ward in 1998, you can wait 3 years while he's on special teams and he's not doing much and he's a 2nd and 3rd guy on your receiving core. Fine. In today's NFL, you don't get to sit there for 3 years and total 1,400 yards over 3 years and expect to be on the team and re-sign a rookie deal.
Yep.
It's just not how it works today. And the fact that Amon Ra St. Brown, how many targets is he at? Almost 70?
Yeah.
North of 70, I'd imagine. The kid is playing at an extremely high level. He's got 74 receptions on the year, 98 targets. So he's going to be well past 100 targets over the next 2 games.
Yeah. And that was Hines Ward in his 4th year.
He won't eclipse 1,000 yards unless he just becomes Randy Moss these next 2 games, which I don't expect. But the point is, that's what you wanted. If you would have told me before the season the 4th-round kid would have gotten 100 targets, I don't care about the receptions, 100 targets, that tells me 2 things. 1, he's involved in the game plan. 2, he's open. Or at least he's perceived to be open, which means he's good at running routes and he's developing. Why is this song playing in the background right now? What are we doing this morning? Everything is like... Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but...
You do realize...
One Republic is playing in the background.
Can
Alex is sending me subliminal messages while I'm trying to talk on the show.
Can I tell you, you do realize it's December 30, and, like, when there's 2 days before New Year's, nothing gets done. You do realize that, right? I hope you're aware.
I hope you're aware.
It doesn't matter what industry you're in. You could be in the marketing industry, McDonald's industry, media business.
Do you say McDonald's?
I know. I don't think McDonald's and Burger King have to deal with this kind of stuff. I don't think a McDonald's or Burger King worker walks in at 7, 8 a.m. in the morning and says, "Why the hell is One Republic playing? This is really throwing off my day."
Well, they do have music
like
that
it.
plays in the restaurant, so.
I've never seen it.
Like New Year's week, it's always you never know what you're gonna get.
Fish, can we figure out how to lower this? It's extremely annoying.
Try
Or
that
just close that door, Fish.
I will figure out how to lower it.
Please.
He goes, I will figure out how
Okay.
to lower it.
Jesus
Thanks,
Christ.
Fish.
But the Amon Ra St. Brown
Yeah.
situation, I want to pull it back to one thing. We have a few minutes. Now in the draft, you're going to have a top 5 pick.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be picking in the mid to late 20s. Mm-hmm. And then you have the first pick, potentially, or the second pick in the second round.
Yep.
So in the first 33, 34 selections, you are going to be able to make 3 of them. And I expect one of them to be a receiver. And look, they could surprise me. They could go a different direction. But right now, if you ask me, Adam, you have to put a bet on it. What are the 3 positions you expect them to take with their first 3 picks? I'm going to tell you edge rusher, linebacker, and receiver. And I don't care about the order outside of the edge rusher going first, which is the likely scenario unless they trade back. Then I'd be very happy. Mm-hmm. But I don't see them trading back. I don't see the potential suitors. And a lot of this is extremely dependent, involving trades. It really depends on how much ESPN decides to invest in Kenny Pickett. Like, I always make the joke about it, how they're going to push the hype train on the kid. But no. Which team is going to fall in love with Kenny Pickett, and where are they picking? And if they're selecting at 7, 8, or 9, and they need a quarterback, trading up to 2 or 3 isn't that far of out of the stretch of imagination. So yes, I would like the Detroit Lions to trade back, but I think the 3 positions, regardless of where they pick, 2 defensive and 1 wide receiver. I think they're going to go out. This is a deep wide receiver class.
Yep.
You could get one in the 2nd or 3rd round. You have 2 second-round picks this year. So maybe it could happen later in the 2nd round. What I do know is this year I do expect to see a receiver come off the board when the Lions are selecting in the first 2 rounds. I just see it.
No, yeah, I do too. And I think the positive thing we could take away from, Brad Holmes finding Amon Ra St. Brown, obviously if Amon Ra can have even close to the career of Hines Ward, then Brad Holmes did his job. I mean, you said 4th round pick. He stole a reliable receiver for years to come late in the draft. And that's something we haven't really seen in this franchise since maybe Galladay in the 3rd round a couple years ago. But he hasn't really, he's done an excellent job so far. And that's what makes me trust Brad Holmes even more this draft. You're going to have 2 first-round picks. I'm hoping the 2nd first-round pick is a wide receiver, just considering who I'm thinking is going to be there.
And think of last year.
Yeah.
You went back-to-back linemen. You went all in on trenches. You drafted 3 trench players with your first 4 picks, which I don't have a problem with. Having said that, you don't do it again this year.
No.
Again, linebacker, you really need a linebacker.
You do.
And look, I'm not saying they grow on trees and that it's easy to spot. But damn it, you're scouting for months. Make a really good decision. If you can hit on 3 of your first 4 picks, and when I say hit, that could range from an immediate impact player all the way to a Pro Bowler. Who knows? It does not always have to be a Hall of Fame player, unless obviously you're picking in the top 3. But the point is, you got to get value. Yeah. Now, is Kyle Hamilton there at 6, 7? If you trade back, I don't think so. Is he there at 3, 4, 5? Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably. I see the Jags taking the tackle. Mm-hmm. So Lions are in a good position. They're either taking an edge rusher or they're going to take Kyle Hamilton. I would prefer the edge rusher. Sorry.
Me as well.
Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, you take them top 3. Mm-hmm. But they weren't even top 3 picks.
Like Sean Taylor, for example.
Sean Taylor, I believe, went 5th, 7th?
Yeah, and look at, And
he was a beast. But the point is, look, Kyle Hamilton's a great player, great prospect. But, look, we always talk about how this is a quarterback-driven league, right, guys? What is the best way to support your quarterback? A good offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best way to frustrate the opposing quarterback?
Defensive line.
Defensive line. Ain't that funny? You don't have an edge rush right now. Go get one. I like Kyle Hamilton. The value of having an edge rusher is immense.
Yeah.
You don't believe me? Go ask Pittsburgh. Go ask Cleveland. Go ask Kansas City. Go ask all the teams that have an above average to elite edge rusher. It is damn worth it.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I can remember Detroit having an elite edge rusher at a moment in time was Ezekiel Ansah. And he wasn't even healthy.
Right.
And he was on enough. But when he was on the field, he was a difference maker.
Good for 10 sacks. Yeah, he's...
Edge rusher, in my opinion, is the way to go. We got to go to break. When we get back, what teams are in the championship bubble? I'll give you guys a hint. The Detroit Pistons are definitely not. And is LeBron and the Lakers in your championship bubble? I really can't wait to hear this. Jeff, don't mess this up. When we come back from the break.
Trust me.
All right, guys, look, I got to tell you about my bookie. If you suck at gambling like Alex Westfall does,
Or me.
I recommend you not doing this. But if you think you have a chance, or you want to tune into the Woodward Bets Show, 6 to 7 every single day. Some of the best betting content you can get out there, the best advice, fantasy sports as well. Definitely recommend it. Having said that, sign up today using code Woodward at mybookie.com. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. They'll match your first deposit up to 100%. Meaning, if you put in $1, they'll give you $1. Don't be cheap. Put in $100, $200. Look, guys, money's tight. I watched the Cheez-It Bowl last night. They were dumping Cheez-Its on people.
Wasn't that wonderful?
I think we have money in this country. Deposit $100, $200. They'll match it. Don't bet on the Pistons to win. You'll win some money. Life is super easy sometimes. Make it easier with my bookie. And if you have a gambling problem, please call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the morning show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Whether you're tuning in live right now or at 10 o'clock, we are live on the radio. 10 a.m. to 12:30 live on the Roar, 99.1 FM, 93.5 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Check us out on the Roar. Jeff, championship bubble.
Oh, God.
What teams are in the bubble for you? What teams actually have a chance at taking home the Larry O'Brien trophy? And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how many teams are in your bubble. Not many are in mine.
No, I agree with you.
Lakers aren't in it.
No, hell no.
They can kick rocks.
Yeah.
LeBron, better known as LeBitch.
He's trying to do everything over there. It ain't working.
I hope they lose every game for the rest of the season.
They very well might.
Nothing satisfies me more than when the Lakers lose basketball games. Honestly, it's really up there with some of the most treasured moments in my life. When I have a kid, it might be hard to top it. But till then, I don't know. I don't even know if having a kid will top watching LeBron suffer and Russell Westbrook get triple doubles during a loss.
Listen, I disagree with you there because, in my opinion, from watching basketball, I feel like basketball is the best when the Lakers are winning because it's like football when the Patriots are on. Okay, listen, in my opinion, when the Lakers are winning, basketball's a little more entertaining. You got the Suns.
When the Lakers are winning, this is not the Los Angeles Lakers. This isn't the Lakers I grew up appreciating, although I hated them.
Oh my! Well, of
this
course.
This is the LeBron James version. Bitch-ass Lakers that I have zero interest in watching, that I have zero interest on seeing on ESPN every night, and they do a cover story, and politics this, and something
Lakers
that, and triple-double this. He's the triple-double. I don't give a shit. The Los Angeles Lakers. They're the 7th seed right now. For me, there are three teams in the West that are clearly championship contenders: the Jazz, the Suns, and the Warriors. I disregard everybody else. In the East, there's only one, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks. The Nets have not.
Okay.
Look, man, I'm sorry. You're going to bring Kyrie Irving
You're
only on your road games?
How dare you in that white turtleneck? You're going to bring up the Utah Jazz over the Nets?
Yes.
You really just did that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, explain.
absolutely.
I want to hear you talk.
I'll explain. Kevin Durant's never led a team
And
by
James
himself.
Harden and Kyrie. You gotta
And
talk
they've
about
never led a team to the chip. Why should I buy stock in it? Because he's the best player in the game. I know Kevin Durant's the best player. He got knocked out by the Bucks last year.
Without James or Kyrie.
Okay, James played
For 2 games, yeah.
but still,
Okay. But
as if like the Bucks have some super team.
they had their entire lineup. But I get what you're saying. Giannis had 50. I mean, he destroyed
Look, this is
them.
what happens when you invest in super teams. I'm not going to make excuses for you. You want to put all your money on 3 bozos? Be my guest. Have the superstar team all you want. But when one of them gets hurt, a.k.a. LeBron, when Kyrie and Kevin Love get hurt, oh, well, the star players were hurt, Adam. Well, no shit. That's what you get for investing all your money into 3 players. I'm not going to make excuses for you. Brooklyn are in prove-it mode for me. They got to prove it.
I agree.
Why should I give them the benefit of the doubt when Kevin Durant, all his career, never was the leader of a team on a championship roster?
Can I ask you something?
When James Harden never led a team past the conference finals. When Russell Westbrook, I don't even want to talk about him. Why should I give them the benefit of the doubt?
It's a good question.
Kyrie Irving.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
If you're asking that question about the Nets, which is fair to a certain extent, now I will argue when the Nets had their first postseason together, they were all 3 healthy against Boston. I get it's Boston, but the first round they absolutely obliterated them. So the second round you're expecting it to be a better series. They missed most of the series. The Bucks win in 7.
So you're asking? I'm assuming your question is going to be about the Jazz.
Yeah. So what makes you say if you're going to say they need to prove it? Well, the Utah Jazz have lost in the first round last 4 years. So
absolutely,
it's like, what are they doing?
And some close series. But
yeah, close series.
Hear me out. What do the Utah Jazz have that the Kevin Durant-led Brooklyn Nets don't have? They don't have history. Kevin Durant has a history of not delivering.
So does Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell's 4 years into his career.
No, but that's and you're also making my point.
No, he's entering his prime.
Okay.
Kevin Durant has been one of if not the best basketball player for 3-4 years now.
Right.
Not delivered a chip since he's left Golden State. What you're clearly seeing now are a Steph Curry-led team, even though you didn't want to admit it when KD was there. That's where I'm going with this. Is you know what? The Jazz, totally right. They haven't earned the right maybe to be in the championship bubble based off their history. But I got a team that's entering their primes. Rudy Gobert is in his prime right now.
He's always solid.
He's going to be regressing probably in the next 2-3 years. But the point is, their window is now. Mm-hmm. And if Donovan Mitchell takes that next step, which honestly, this year he's been doing a hell of a job, then I think they have a chance in the West. Who am I scared of in the West outside of Golden State and Phoenix?
No, I
see
agree with
this
you
team
there.
making a run.
I agree with you there.
And look, I totally see the Nets probably getting to the conference final.
Yeah.
But if they play the Bucks, I'm taking the Bucks again. I really am.
Yeah.
What has Kevin Durant shown me? That he can go to a 73-win team and be the quote-unquote best player, even though Steph is clearly the engine that runs that team and the clear leader of that basketball team. Mm-hmm. And now they have the best record in the NBA. Isn't that funny? What a freaking coincidence. They took a year and a half, 2 years off. Klay Thompson hasn't played in almost 3 years, basically. And now Klay's coming back in January, and this team is a problem again. Yes, he hasn't won a chip since he left Golden State. It's been 2 years, actually. He only played one of them because of his Achilles injury. I suggest you guys really think before you comment.
You know what's crazy though, Adam? Think about it. Like they lost last year the Nets in Game 7 against the Bucks, and
KD played his heart out.
Think about it. The last shot, he had his foot on the line for the 3. If he hits that 3, they go on. They win. They beat the Bucks. We don't even have this conversation. But he missed. His foot was on the line. He made the shot, and now it's like.
Look, man, I'm sorry. Like
it's crazy though.
I get it.
Yeah,
look, I could make the argument that you're right.
Yeah.
Last year could have easily been the Nets' year, and they could have won easily. Sure. I could make the argument with every single team, every single year.
They could have lost it. They probably would have lost
like,
to the Suns.
I could have made the argument that the Kawhi Leonard 3-point shot over Joel Embiid.
If it didn't happen.
If it didn't happen, the Sixers would win, but then the Golden State Warriors would have repeated again. Like,
I get what you're
I don't
saying.
want to do that. I don't want to get involved in that. But the point is, I believe there's 4 clear teams. The Nets, look, am I going to be mad at you for putting them in your championship bubble? No, I'm not.
But they have stuff.
But they got to prove it, man.
Yeah, they got to prove.
They have to prove it. And with Kyrie coming back only for away games,
It's BS.
That makes no sense to me.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. I'm sorry.
I would go.
And no one's blaming KD either. KD is literally the best basketball player in the planet right now, and he's been for almost 3, 4, 5 years. That's not the point. The point is, we're talking about a championship team.
Yeah, leading them there.
Kevin Durant blew a 3-1 lead against Golden State. Kevin Durant went to Golden State following, was the best player technically, and of course they went on and won 2 out of 3 years. Then he goes to Brooklyn, doesn't play the first year because of his Achilles, comes back, gets them to the conference final, did a hell of a job in the playoffs, proved that he's an alpha, but they didn't win. So I'm sorry, you guys. Kevin Durant's legacy can only truly be solidified as a top 8, top 6, top 7 player the moment he delivers outside of Golden State. Because when you talk to me about Golden State, you're talking about the most selfless, humble, superstar leader we've ever witnessed in NBA history, in Steph Curry. So how about we take a chill pill on anointing the Brooklyn Nets? Let them go out and earn it. Why should I have to sit up here and say, "Oh, Brooklyn's the lead favorite. They're the number 1 seed right now. I believe in Brooklyn." Why? That's easy to say. No, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, they're a super team. They have James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. No crap. Of course, I expect them to be really good.
Yeah.
But until they prove it, don't expect me to sit up here and give them compliments and, oh, how good of a job they're doing. I'm going to pat them on the back. Timmy, you're doing such a great job, honey. No, not going to happen.
You know what I think is going to be interesting this year, especially now? You've seen it in the regular season, like teams are struggling to get healthy. Like you see the Bucks missing guys. The Miami Heat has been down a bunch of players. Does this translate into the playoffs? And I wonder how much will it affect teams? Because you could have another Nets team that's down. You know, Kyrie's not.
I hope not. Look, I hope there isn't a bubble. I hope there isn't a COVID situation. I was so angry the year that the Heat and the Lakers were in the finals. I didn't even watch a single game of it. I resented it. I thought it was a joke. And then the whole stripper thing and bringing a girl to the chicken wings night. That bubble was a joke.
Yeah.
But whatever.
We'll see.
I do want to switch real quick before we head to break. Speaking of championship teams, Jeff, the Green Bay Packers are one of, if not the best team in football right now. But they have a problem. They can't stop the run.
Yeah.
Now, that may not be a problem in the NFC. So I look at the NFC, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams. Nothing pops in my head where I'm like, oh, a Nick Chubb is going to roller coast me come January, February.
Right.
So I see a lot of people maybe overreacting to just how bad the run defense is to Green Bay, but you weren't here yesterday, so you can get a chance to talk about this, and I want to ask you, who are your championship favorites? And I'll let you pick 2 teams from each conference. If I told you that you had to tell me, give me 2 teams from each conference that were going to make the Super Bowl, that you had full confidence in, that you would be willing to, I don't know, sell your girlfriend and put all the money on it, or sell your mortgage. I don't know if you have a house, but the point is, you would have to do something drastic. You'd have to amputate your arm. I don't know. The point is,
so 2 teams from each
conference?
conference?
Who are the 2 teams from each conference, AFC, NFC?
NFC, I'm sticking obviously one of each of my picks. So I'm going to stick NFC. It's going to be the Packers. It's going to be the Buccaneers. And we saw last year, the question about the Packers and their ability to stop the run is a fair question, because you saw last year it was honestly the emergence of playoff Lenny, and we saw what Leonard Fournette did to the Packers and how that game ended with the whole decision with Matt LaFleur. But those 2 teams, the only teams to me, NFC. I mean, you have the Cowboys. I don't have faith in the Cowboys. They have to prove it. I don't care about the Cardinals, and I don't see any other team making it. The Rams, I'm sorry, I would take the Bucs and the Packs over the Rams. AFC, I'm going Bills and Chiefs. Those are the 2 that I would bet my life on, because I already have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. If I had to pick another team, what do you have? You have the Patriots. You have the Bengals. I mean, the Colts.
AFC, I'm going to disagree with you.
I'm going Bills and Chiefs.
I'm going Bills and Titans.
Titans. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, if Derrick Henry returns,
well, he will return. It's not if he will be,
and
back.
if he's fully healthy immediately,
which you expect him to be, but
playing good. Yeah.
All things considered, I'm gonna ride the team that has had all the challenges, all the hiccups, all the odds pinned against them all season, losing their best players, receivers out for multiple weeks at a time, and they're still sitting there. What, 10-4? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So yeah, I am gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. So those are the two for me in the AFC. NFC, I'm going to go Green Bay and the Rams. The Bucks, I'm sorry.
And that's just me.
Look, Tom, I hate doubting Tom Brady.
I know. That's
the worst thing you can do. Believe me, I lost money betting against Tom Brady. But for me, I'm going to take the Rams, and I'll tell you why. The Los Angeles Rams, to me, on Sunday against Minnesota, showed me that they are a complete team. They overcame Stafford playing the worst game I've seen him play in years. 3 interceptions. Could have easily been 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And they won that game. And Aaron Donald was a menace. And they forced fumbles, turnovers. They got to the quarterback, pressured. That was a complete game from their team. Their quarterback just really made it more complicated than it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I expect Stafford to play that way in the playoffs?
And if he does,
if he does, that's problematic.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening. I don't. I think it's a different situation in LA, and I think they're going to figure it out. Jeff, we do have to go to break. When we get back, how can college football programs sustainably develop culture? Now, sustainably meaning, how can you have a run like Alabama, not just on the field, but off the field? How can you have a run like Bob Stoops at Oklahoma?
Dabo
Swinney now currently at Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
What is the formula to keep a guy around, to keep people interested for such a long period of time? We'll do that when we get back. But first, Jeff, please tell everybody about Guardian Alarm.
Well, we talk about reliable defenses, and the Rams get mentioned in that conversation. What about Guardian Alarm? Because Guardian Alarm gets it. Good defense on and off the field, helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights or temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. You heard Fish. 800-STAY-OUT today. And Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Open in the corner, he triple.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show, 8:44, downtown Birmingham, Woodward Sports Studios. The weather better than yesterday, but not what you'd like it to be. Sorry, guys, you live in Michigan.
Yep.
You don't live in California, where it's always sunny. But, hey, you'll take it. What I don't understand about this state, one, are the roads. And then two, how people drive on the roads.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to wait 50, 60, almost 70 minutes a day in my car trying to get to work. Should be a 30-minute drive. The roads are clear. There's no slush. There's no black ice.
Yeah.
And you guys just can't drive? Like, you can't just avoid getting into an accident every day? You have to do something stupid? I have to drive more than 2-3 hours a day? Why?
You know what's crazy, Adam? I lived in Georgia for 2 years, and noticing how different they drive compared to Michigan. Everyone's speed limit goes down 20 in Georgia. If it's 55, they're going 35 down there. I don't get it. In Michigan, you're getting your ass.
But in Georgia, if there's one sliver of snow,
we are off school.
Over.
Back in the day, you had no school. So, I don't know, man. Michigan drivers are different.
They're not different.
They're stupid.
I gotta really choose my words carefully here.
Tough.
Before we get canceled. Michigan drivers, you know exactly how I feel about you. I don't need to say what I feel. Because if I say it, it's going to be a problem.
I mean, people in Ohio say the same thing when they come to Michigan.
People in Ohio can F off. They can't even spell their own state right, all right? So the people in Ohio can't say anything to me. O-H-I-O. They have a chant because they can't. They're so illiterate, they have a chant.
Oh, Michigan doesn't have a chant.
No, they don't. They don't have M-I-C-H.
They should.
Shut up.
It's too long. You can't spell it out that way.
No, it's Michigan. Ohio. Losers.
Okay.
Losers.
Oh, tell that to the Ohio State fans that have beat Michigan like 15 out of 16
Great.
years.
Tell the Ohio fans they haven't beaten Michigan in more than 700 days. They can kick rocks. I could care less. You think I care? What? LeBron left you twice.
He did.
LeBron left you twice. Baker Mayfield's your quarterback.
Yeah. Yep.
Shut the hell up.
LeBron made him
You
relevant.
can't talk. You can't. You needed a super team to get to the finals. We did it with an actual basketball team in 2004. How about that?
LeBron carried him.
Think I
down
care about
3-1.
Ohio?
Yeah.
The worst drivers I've seen in Michigan.
The roads are
I've
better in
seen
Ohio.
people get into accidents by themselves. Nothing happening around them. I don't know what the hell's going on. I just want to get to work in an appropriate amount of time.
Can I ask how fast you're driving?
Really fast.
Okay.
So I'm one of those drivers. But look, I don't. Ah, man. All right, Jeff. College football.
Yeah.
How do you build a program that's sustainable long-term, both on and off the field?
Well, obviously you have to win. Winning solves everything. But I think it's if you win, that'll dictate how players respond to coaching, how committed your fan base is. That's building culture. And you saw, last night I watched the Cheez-It Bowl with Dabo Swinney. And look, at Dabo Swinney, I think it was his first. He missed the playoffs the first time in quite some time. And, a lot of people base culture off where you are in terms of winning. Now, Dabo Swinney, the last 10 seasons, have had at least 10 wins. And this year, they're not in the playoff, but seeing their reaction after winning the Cheez-It Bowl and achieving another 10-win season, that's culture in my eyes. And now Mel Tucker's building it now. Jim Harbaugh's been building it. That's how you win. And just to tie it back to Jim Harbaugh, I think he's done a great job building culture. Mel Tucker, obviously. The easy answer is to look at the consistency of the Nick Sabans, and more generally, it doesn't have to be as dominant as that. I mean, a culture could be as simple as Jim Harbaugh, multiple 10-win seasons. Yes, the playoff appearances haven't been there, but there's an aura around your program when you begin to win. 10 games, you finally make a playoff appearance. They beat Ohio State this year. That's something to pitch to recruits. And more recruits, higher recruits, better classes every year equal a
There's
consistent
no
culture.
better pitch to recruits.
No.
Than saying, hey, the people in our state really know how to drive.
Oh, no. Oh, they're going the other way.
I love this comment.
They're going the other way.
I love this comment. I'm doing 90 in the left lane and still have a Challenger or a Charger on my butt flashing me, telling me to move. You know what? I hate that about people. Because sometimes I'm going like 70 and a 55. Hell, even on Ford Road. I'll be going 68, 70 on Ford Road, which is like a 40, 50, depends where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like behind me, beeping at me like I'm the problem.
Okay, you do realize that's not a Michigan thing. That's an everywhere thing.
Michigan's pretty well known.
I feel like
Michigan's
it's a
well
Michigan
known for
thing.
it, but that's an everywhere
Look,
thing.
I lived in California. I've been to Chicago. I've been a lot of places. Never seen this problem. Only in Michigan.
Well, you do get another. There are crazy drivers any state, whether it's Wyoming,
I'm not talking about
Nebraska.
crazy drivers. I'm talking about people that just, I don't know what they want. Like, I'm speeding, and you are still on my tail.
No, that's what I mean.
Giving me crap?
That's what I mean. It's in every state.
Fish.
Makes me, like, I feel like less of a person when I'm speeding and risking a ticket for myself. And there's people behind me asking me to speed more. So then I have to go to the next lane, let them pass me, so then they can get the ticket if there's a cop in front of me.
Right.
And then I gotta go back in there, and then the
them-
next guy behind me who's acting like a jackass is speeding on me too.
Why don't you have them pass you, ding
I
ding?
let them pass me most of
That's
the time.
fine.
But sometimes I'm just a jackass and I just sit there and I slow down just to piss them off.
Okay, well, I'd be worried about your safety for road rage.
You know what?
Do you have a road rage plan?
I do not. I do not.
Oh, boy.
I'm actually a very patient driver.
Okay.
Like, Fish, you've been to Cleveland. You've been around. Like,
I've
you
been to
can't
Cleveland
deny at
several
least
Cleveland
times.
is one of the worst cities in the United States.
Okay.
If I
should
was a
mute your
dictator,
mic.
that would be one of the first cities I would target.
Jesus.
That would be the first thing I would promise if elected as a dictator.
Promise.
I don't know how you get elected as a dictator, but
just eliminate Cleveland.
Listen, Cleveland's on my hit list.
Can
So
I-
is Jackson Mahomes.
Can I ask why you hate Cleveland?
I told you why. I've given you so many reasons. LeBron James.
Okay.
No,
They have a
but
chant
I'm
in
saying,
Ohio.
I know, but I'm saying in general. Why
That's
do you,
why.
Why
That's
do you
in
hate?
general.
Well, okay, Ohio. Why do you hate Ohio?
I told you the chant. O-H.
Ohio.
That's why he hates a Fish.
That's why.
That's it.
That's why.
I'm a little biased. Fish.
That's enough for me to take out a country.
Oh, it's a state.
You're asking me what
It's a
are the
state.
things that need to happen for me to take this country to war? There you go.
It's a state. Just like Dubai is a city. That also pisses me off.
All right.
He goes, all right.
That's it. You don't have anything on that?
He goes, all right. We'll leave
Listen,
it there, Fish.
Listen, Fish.
Leave it there.
I don't know what you want from me this morning.
Well, I just asked you a simple question because this is like a Michigan-Ohio thing. Like
This is not a
lot of
Michigan, Ohio
people.
thing.
No,
this
no,
is
no. Well,
a clear
wait.
disdain for one of the worst states in the United States. Nobody likes it.
What, Ohio?
Cincinnati doesn't even want to be in Ohio. Cincinnati feels like its own state sometimes. They don't even want to be a part of the state. They're like the dead child nobody wants to
How
even
do you
remember.
know how do you know that's not how Lansing feels?
Lansing? It's the capital.
Or Mackinac Island.
People love Mackinac
Or
Island.
the UP.
Yeah.
How do you think the UP feels? Because they're connected to Wisconsin.
They must love it. Wisconsin is a great state.
See, look at Adam. I mean, he's,
If they were
he's giving
Ohio,
credit.
if they were connected to Ohio, I would feel bad for them. But they're not. UP has it. They're chilling.
That's what I see. What do all Michigan people, most Michigan people have against Ohio?
Listen, I don't know. Where I'm going with this is Notre Dame, Ohio, Jackson
Notre Dame
Mahomes.
and Indiana.
We'll start there with my dictatorship.
Detroit Daver in the chat. It's enough for him to take out his country, so a state is definitely screwed, Fish. Adam as your dictator,
No,
folks.
this is a real question because a lot of Michigan people, for some reason, hate Ohio, and I can't. They don't. I tell them, and
Fish,
no one
you
has
are
a reason.
such a polite human being that you don't see the dark side of life. When I say OHIO, you think of the chant. You think of all the people saying it. When I hear OHIO, it makes me want to take a plunger and suck out the drums in my ears.
But that's what I'm saying. Why?
I just told you why. I don't like the state. I don't like LeBron. I don't like the city of Cleveland.
Okay, I'm fine
I
if you're
think
not
they're
liking
illiterate.
LeBron.
I think that Baker Mayfield is the funniest thing to happen to Cleveland in a long time. They had Johnny Manziel.
They did. And then he went to Montreal Alouettes.
Listen,
CFL.
as a Lions, someone who grew up watching the Lions, maybe I don't have all the room in the world to talk about another football team, but it's my show. I do what the hell I want.
You do.
All right? If you got a problem in Cleveland, go fix your quarterback problem first. Then you talk to me.
Yeah.
All right? You guys are underachieving with that team.
I will agree with that. They are
OH.
underachieving.
Stupid chant. What a stupid chant. What a stupid chant.
Name a
They
time.
couldn't have come up with anything else.
Michigan, what did
They
Michigan
cried.
have?
They
What did
cried.
Michigan have?
They cried when LeBron left, and they had to take down that stupid Nike billboard.
Okay, they cried because he did it on ESPN. He did a 1-hour interview special with him talking about where he's going to go. Has anyone
It
else
wasn't
done
a special.
that? No.
It was for charity.
What do you mean? Oh, charity.
They're even mad that charities get support.
Charity.
That's how much.
I'm
that's
sure
how much
all the money
Cleveland.
ESPN got went to charity. Sure, charity.
Listen, I saw kids there. That sold it for me.
There's kids everywhere.
Listen, guys, I'm telling
Charity.
you.
ESPN pocketed that money.
Adam in 2023 lands a job in Cleveland.
Oh, wait.
It may be destiny. I think Cleveland needs me.
No, they don't.
I think
don't
they need
you.
me. I think they need somebody to walk in there and just tell them the truth.
Okay, they know Baker Mayfield's
Somebody
not
needs
bad.
to walk in and just tell them how crap of a city they are, how much of a loser town they are,
Okay.
how bad their football team
How
is
is
right
it
now.
different to Detroit? Can you give me two
Well,
differences?
I'll give you one. Name a person who's vacationed to Ohio. I can't name it.
Several times.
Fish, I can't name one. I don't know a single acquaintance of mine, besides you, Fish. I'll name you. I went to Cleveland once about 10 years ago. I watched LeBron play in person. That was the best moment.
So
Other
you
than
went
that,
to downtown
there was-
Cleveland. What are the differences between downtown Cleveland and Detroit?
I mean,
All right, Fish.
Cleveland was
I'll
more
put
boring.
it this way:
It was more boring.
If
I'll
I
give them
owned a
that.
helicopter, and I had enough money to make like 15, 20 trips back and forth from Cleveland to here, I would fill the helicopter with a ton of manure, and I would just fly over Cleveland, and I would drop the manure in random places. Not on the kids, though.
Maybe the practice field for the Browns.
Love the kids.
Just do it.
Definitely on the Browns facility. Definitely on the Cavaliers facility.
All right, we got to hit a break. I'm sorry I derailed
No, we
the
don't.
conversation.
No, we go to break when I want to go to break.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we're going to start there. By the way, you asked me earlier, why do I hate Ohio so much?
Yes.
Fish, you left out one very important thing.
Okay.
The biggest rivalry in all of sports in the United States happens to involve a team in Michigan and a team in Ohio. That is the core root. When I was growing up, seeing that stupid silver helmet and those stupid stripes,
but those are universities,
and those Buckeye stars, like I was taught, it was ingrained in me as a kid, that was the enemy. Nobody likes them. They are beneath us. So I grew up, and I now have a platform where I get to talk about them.
But those are teams.
And they are beneath me. And
Literally.
they can't say a damn word today
They are
because they lost to Michigan. So they can shut the hell up. And if they got a problem with it, win the game next year. I'll sit here and take it all from you guys.
Yeah.
Till then, middle fingers up. I could care less.
I get that, but
nobody likes your state. Sorry.
Those are sport teams. I'm talking about in general.
In general, I hate them all.
Okay.
Especially the state of Ohio. I don't even acknowledge it as a state. To me, there's 49 states in the United States. I don't even consider Ohio a state.
Or you could say there's 50 and include Puerto Rico. You could pull that card,
Fish,
too.
I'm not going to be that guy.
Oh, okay.
No. But like I said, as a dictator, the first three things on my list. Jackson Mahomes, Ohio, and we'll figure out the rest. Oh, and getting rid of like the Snickers Bowl and the Cheez-Its Bowl, where we dump food on people. That's why like 27% of this country is obese.
You don't want to see the coach get mayo boarded? I'm excited for that.
No, I don't want to see mayo dumped on a grown man.
Did you guys see that, by the way? They said the winning coach has to sit in like some chair and just get mayo boarded.
Look, this isn't Nickelodeon where we slime people. These guys are playing football.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the head coach of a football
It's
team
called fun.
who, as a young man...
It's called fun. Their season's over.
Well,
Let them have
you know
some
what?
fun
Mel
and
Tucker
dump
is
mayo
really
on
selling me
there.
on going to Michigan State because he's getting mayo poured all over him and peaches. Wow. That's a selling point right there.
You can't have them celebrate their season by getting whatever bowl.
I don't want people celebrating their season with food dumped on them. That doesn't make sense to me. It's a waste of food.
I'm sure they're donating some food.
Oh, now we can donate. But LeBron James doesn't donate when he does the announcement, right, Fish?
Well, because... Oh, okay. Let me tell you... No. Hold. Because the network that's broadcasting it is getting a share of the money with both things.
The ESPN got money because of the ratings and the ad slots that they sold into that premiere show.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
There was also money contributed from those ratings to the foundation that LeBron was
Not as
supporting
much as
at the
they're
time.
telling you, though.
I don't care how much it was. All I know is money went to charity. You think I care how much? If you donate 5 or he donates 1,000, I don't care. You're both equal to me. You think I care how much? We got to go to break. Jake Butt waiting on the other side of the line.
That's why I told you to go to break.
I completely forgot he's probably waiting and listening to this right now and is probably shaking his head. Like, what the hell did I get myself into? We got to go to break. When we get back, Jake Butt joining us, former Michigan tight end, Michigan man himself. We'll talk about Michigan's upcoming game with Georgia, how Michigan got back to this point. So many fun questions for Jake. But before we go, I do have to tell you about the Folding Warehouse. The Folding Warehouse, guys, is the home of the original folding bowling pin game called Folding. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends. They have over 100 beers, a $2 Mystic beer machine, and you can bring in your own food or have it catered. Be our guest. Come and get your fold on. Check it out at foldingwarehouse.com in Hamtramck. That's foldingwarehouse.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Top of the hour, 9 o'clock here in downtown Birmingham, the Woodward Sports Network Morning Woodward Show. We are joined by Michigan's own Jake Butt, former Michigan tight end, played under Jim Harbaugh. Jake, how you doing today, buddy? We're glad to have you on, man. Hope everything's going well. I do have a question for you. And I'll start with this. Obviously, I had a rant about Ohio. If memory serves me correctly, you are from Ohio. One, I want to start with this. You got to experience as a player just the rivalry, the atmosphere, everything that goes around the game. And we finally saw this year Michigan come out on top. And what I'd like you to put in perspective, if you can, this morning for everybody listening is, how did we get here? What was the difference with the teams you were on that were, I could argue, just as talented? What was the difference where they finally got over the hump and they were able to beat Ohio State?
We can't hear you. I don't know. I know you can probably hear us, but we're having trouble picking your mic up. Not sure if it's our side or the other side.
No,
Hear me now?
Oh, there you go.
This is 2 for 2. I don't know what it is.
Let's go.
Jake, you gave me a heart attack.
Hey, you're giving us a heart attack. Hey, we're over here stressing out. Oh, we got him. All right.
I was loving my answer. Right. You might go.
I knew you.
I was feeling it.
I knew you were too. I knew you were too. Well, it's like I don't want to make you repeat the answer.
All right, I'm sorry, but I am gonna have to ask you to repeat your answer to my question, Jake. What is the difference from when you're during your time at Michigan? How did we get here? How did we get over the hump? Was it as simple as Harbaugh kind of taking a step back, bringing in a new youth injection in terms of his coaching staff? What was it that finally got this team to deliver on what we've expected all these years?
I think it's fascinating that to understand how we got here, you go back, almost a decade ago, 15 years ago, back to the Lloyd Carr days, where Michigan was where it was supposed to be. A national level of respect, pretty good success year over year, and then, Lloyd leaves and we bring in Rich Rod. And those were some dark, dark years, and you feel the program took a step back. We lost a lot of respect. We weren't winning games. Brady Hoke comes in. He understands the history of Michigan. He understands what it means to wear a block helmet and represent the block M. He has some early success, and Michigan's looking good. We're on a good trajectory, but ultimately that faltered, and Brady had to leave. And I remember sitting there, this was going in, that was between my sophomore and junior year, and I knew we had a lot of talent. And you're wondering, who's our next coach, man? We just need a ball coach. We just need someone to organize us and put us in a better position. And Jim Harbaugh walks in the door. And Jim Harbaugh, we didn't have the success this team was having this year, but we had back-to-back 10-win seasons, and that lays a foundation. It's a strong foundation to build the whole house on top of. And, it was up and down, but that's life. It's tough to win, year over year. Last year was obviously inexcusable, but I think sometimes, in a brutal sport like football, you got to starve your dogs, man. A hungry dog hunts best. I heard a quote about Aiden Hutchinson said this offseason. Aiden Hutchinson went into Jim Harbaugh's office. He went into, the strength coach's office, and he said, I want you to wring me out like a rag. Squeeze every last ounce of me. I'm hungry. I want to win. That trickles down throughout the whole program, and that was because they had such a poor season last year. Guys, I've heard it from everyone on the team. They were just tired of it. They were ready to work. They were ready to do whatever it takes to win. I think Coach McDonald was a critical hire, bringing him in, Michigan's most improved defense year over year in terms of points per game. That was huge. Having a quarterback position settled, having Cade McNamara in there. I mean, Cade's not a Cam Newton. He's not a Tim Tebow. But Cade has got all the talent to make all the throws that you can ask of him. But he's a game manager and a leader. The player leadership this year has been critical as much as the coaches. And they're kind of finally reaping the fruits of all that hard work of the offense and the year-over-year stacking good off seasons and good coaching changes and good scheme changes. It's finally coming to fruition.
Absolutely. Jake, they do play Georgia tomorrow. Big game. I know you're down there for the game. I do want to ask you this narrative that the SEC, it's so much more talented. They're built different. I could really only make that argument for Alabama.
Yeah.
Yes, Georgia has had a really good few years. They're a good football team. They ran the table this year outside of losing to Bama in the championship game. But I'm not saying Michigan should overlook them. But I'm sitting here really looking at this and saying, you know what, Michigan, not only do they have a chance, I'm actually more confident in Michigan than I am in Georgia.
I agree. No, I agree. I think, and there's a certain level of bias. There's an SEC bias, and I think it starts with Bama, and we just kind of let the whole SEC kind of get away with Bama's success, but that's not fair, and it doesn't tell the whole story. I think for Michigan, there's a Big Ten North versus South, Big Ten SEC rivalry as well. As much as there is, we have Michigan Ohio State, Michigan State. There's a North versus South rivalry, and I don't feel the South gives the North as much respect as we should. The SEC's, are they 0-4 now in their bowl games so far? They're struggling. No, that's the truth, and I feel like that happens consistently year over year. So I'm super excited for Michigan's opportunity to go right through the heart of the SEC, the best two that they have to offer, Georgia and Bama. It's like slaying the dragon, man. It's rescuing the princess, bringing all the gold back north. I think they can do it, man. I'm excited. I know you guys do some sports betting stuff. I'm hammering Michigan +7. I love that bet.
Oh, dude, I took it at +8.5 when it was first available.
Oh, my goodness.
It's the easiest decision of my life. Easier than getting married.
Yeah. My fiance's in the other room, so I can't agree with you.
Hopefully, my wife is at work, so I hope she's not listening right now.
Yeah.
If she was, I'll find out in the next 5 minutes. So.
Well, first off, thank you for joining us, Jake. I got a question right now. It'd be a crime, essentially, if I didn't ask you about these Michigan tight ends, Eric All, Luke Schoonmaker, and how important they're going to be. They've been solid not only in terms of run blocking, but helping out now on the receiving side of things, especially with the loss of Ronnie Bell earlier in the year. How important are these two guys going to be this week in the matchup against Georgia, especially in helping win that battle up front and maybe helping out Cade on the receiving side of things?
Yeah, if you're going to commit to the run like Michigan does, you have to have tight ends. They're complementary to that. You want to be able to have play action passes and just easy outlet passes to your tight end. That's kind of traditionally what the tight end position's been asked to do. But those guys are maulers in the run game too. They're physical, to snap your head back. The Ohio State game, you're watching them fill in the backers and Ohio State's spit flying, their mouthpieces are going out, their heads getting snapped back, and they just keep bringing it every single play. It's awesome. But then you see the versatility of the Big Ten championship. Both of them have a spectacular one-hand catch, contested catches. They're blocking, they're pancaking dudes. They're the total package. So, I don't expect Michigan to be able to run for 200, 300 yards against this Georgia defense. I mean, we'll give them credit. They're talented and they're good. So everyone's going to need to step up, but it seems the tight ends are playing some of their best balls as the season progresses. So I'm looking for them to have, continue on the trajectory and have their best game yet.
Well, I'm not going to let you get away with complimenting these tight ends without complimenting yourself because, everyone is all, we're all high on Eric All. We all remember the Penn State game, the big play he made. But, Jake, I could argue, your numbers not only were better, you were just as good of a tight end as these guys, and your run blocking ability, I could argue, was just as good, if not better. I kind of want you to gloat about yourself and what you accomplished your last 2 years, your junior and senior year, man. You were a problem.
Yeah, I'll give these guys credit, man. They're way better at run blocking than I am. I can't even. These dudes are beasts. Now, I think what I had though is I did it 4 years. The consistency is what I'm most proud of. Is I came in as a freshman. I was 209 pounds when I walked on campus. Remember, Mike Schofield thought I was a walk-on punter. No, I was a scholarship tight end actually. And my first ever spring practice, I lined up across from Frank Clark, and he lifted me off the ground and knocked me back 7 yards. And I remember calling my dad and saying, Dad, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, man. I don't know if I can play at Michigan. I was behind Devin Funchess, A.J. Williams, two guys that started as a freshman. I didn't think I was going to play. Dad's like, dude, Just keep eating, put on some weight, like put it together. It'll all happen. By week 3, I was starting at tight end. And, it was just year over year building on top of it. That consistency is really, really hard to do, and to consistently improve. So that's what I'm most proud of. That's where the career records come in, the career receptions, the career yards. That's a body of work record, and I'm pretty proud of that. But it always helps, man. At a university like Michigan, you should have, significant talent around you. No one should ever be able to key on one player. And I had some good ball players around me. Amar Darboh, J.U. Chesson, Davion Smith. Our offensive line was very talented. And that's the same thing you got with this Michigan team. That's what good teams have, is they have a number of options that they can turn to. And it makes it hard for defenses to key on one, individual piece.
Jake, I'm glad you brought up consistency, because what I see in Jim Harbaugh, and even before the season started, he was under a lot of pressure, expectations, not delivering in the big games, losses to rivals, people panicking. And what I saw was a body of work of Jim Harbaugh that was consistent. 10-3, 10-3. 8-5, 10-3, 9-4, and yes, the 2-4 year during COVID. But honestly, I disregarded that. I didn't really care too much. But the guy came in and really brought Michigan essentially to where you would want it to be and where it always has been, which is a 9-10 win team that when they get to Ohio State at the end of the year, whether it's in Ann Arbor or Columbus, you have an opportunity to play in a Big Ten title game. And last I checked, 4 out of the 6 years, Michigan walked into the final game of the season with an opportunity to play and represent the Big Ten in the Big Ten title game.
Yeah.
So I think the losses kind of overshadow just exactly the work that's been getting done over the last 6-7 years.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the world we live in. It's just an emotional world. Is when something goes wrong, people want to uproot the entire organization. But I always said, man, if you're gonna fire a coach, you better be damn sure you have a clear improvement that you're gonna bring in. Who is, it'd be hard pressed to find me a better football coach than Jim Harbaugh. And you got to understand, listen, the academic standards at Michigan are not the same as they are at Ohio State or Clemson or Alabama. Like, we want to bring in some recruits that probably wouldn't qualify or wouldn't be allowed to meet our academic standards. That's not a problem with some of these other schools. And that's not an excuse. It's just a reality. And that's, you're handcuffed a little bit when it comes to recruiting. And then, of course, you need to beat your rivals too, because we're recruiting against the same,
right.
We want the same players Ohio State wants. When you finally beat Ohio State, now that's that extra ammo to say, hey, Ohio State's big recruiting pitchers. Why would you ever go to Michigan? We beat them every year. We go to the college football playoff. We're Big Ten champions every year. Now Jim Harbaugh has that added ammo to start bringing in better recruits. That's what I'm excited for. It's it's the future, man. It's not just the win against Ohio State. There's that trickle-down effect of what it can do for you from a recruiting standpoint, bringing in even better talent. So you'll see this continue to help us year over year in the coming years.
Yeah, look, I may be biased, Jake, and I'll openly admit it. I have no problem sharing my biases with people. I don't like Ohio. I don't like Ohio State. I don't like the stupid silver helmets. I don't like the silver, white, and red. I like nothing about it. Nothing about it is flattering to me at all. And maybe that clouds my judgment. But you know what? I'm sorry. When I see the maize and blue playing in meaningful games late into the year, for me it hits more, just as a college football fan, just in general. I feel like these teams like Michigan with a storied history, Michigan, USC, hopefully with Lincoln Riley, we'll see them back. How important is it to have the culture, traditional teams competing at the top? Not every year, but at least every other year.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important, because when you have historical success, that's the standard. So when you're falling short of the standard, it's quite obvious that something's wrong. And that's what you saw, again, going back to the Rich Rod and the Brady Hoke days. Is like, man, Michigan, you have all the resources in the world. Your recruiting pitches, you have an unbelievable alumni base and network. You're an academic institution. You're going to be on a national stage playing football regardless of your success. It's just the Michigan brand. So, there's no reason we should ever fall short. And really, like you said, Jim really wasn't falling short. There was a lot of 10-win, 9-win seasons in there. And this is the standard is, hey, this year we're finally over that hump of beating our rivals. We're Big Ten champions. We have a chance to go and do something special and, beat Georgia and play for a national championship and potentially be national champions. I hope people can reflect on, how they were feeling last year and realize next time when things go hard, because they inevitably will, that's just life. that you don't try to call for somebody's head when, there isn't a clear improvement. We got a really good coach in Jim Harbaugh. We got a really good staff. I'm riding with him, man, until the wheels fall off.
Absolutely. Jake, I do have one more question for you before we let you go. Before I do ask it, I will say, before the season started, we made the comparison for Jim Harbaugh with Dabo Swinney. First 6-7 years, he never really delivered anything significant. But what happened year 7? He got the quarterback right, more playmakers, and then you saw Clemson national title games, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. So I think hopefully people learn to be patient, not complacent, but patient. And understand that, all right, there is a body of work here, and there is something we're working towards. But, Jake, the last question I do have for you. What's going to happen tomorrow? Now, I got Michigan 20-16. I think it's going to be an ugly game. But you got to tell me, what should we expect from Michigan against Georgia? And what should Michigan fans really expect to see from this Georgia football team, which maybe they're flying under the radar because they did get whooped by Alabama. But, man, they have a tight end. And Brock Bowers, who honestly reminds me of Rob Gronkowski. It's unbelievable how big, physical, and athletic he is.
Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, but that's where you're at this point in the season. There is no bad teams left. I mean, these are the best 4 that the whole nation thought should be here. Everyone's competing. No one's going to leave anything on the field. It's going to be 100%. And Georgia's a good ball team. That defense is really, really good. They were averaging less than 10 points per game given up on defense, 3 rushing touchdowns all season. Those are like video game stats. So the matchup I'm looking for is, can Michigan's offensive line, create some crevices and cracks against Georgia's defensive line? You got that big number 99 Jordan Davis there anchoring their defense. If we can displace him and keep him under wraps and maybe elongate some drives, 8 to 10 plays, that could wear on a defense and exhaust them. But it's not going to be a easy task. So something's got to give. One of these teams is going to give. I think if Michigan's able to, get in that 20, 25, 30-point range, I think our defense should hold up against their offense. I think you highlighted it. Brock Bowers, he's going to be the key to the game. I was getting a little nervous. You got a good tight end. You need to have a good safety to match him up with. But, Daxton Hill was rumored to not be playing or not traveling down. I think there's some rumors that he did hop on a flight. He is down here now, and he will play. That's going to be critical. Getting him off his rhythm, Brock Bowers, like chipping him. Can Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo on their way to rush the quarterback? Can you kind of chip him on the way, knock him off balance, get him out of rhythm? Those are the things you do to stop a good tight end. And I think actually people aren't giving us credit. I think the whole nation thinks Georgia's going to run away with this. I think Michigan's got a really, really good chance to win. I'm calling for a 30-23 game, Michigan.
Awesome, Jake. Jake, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciated it. So fun to talk to you. You speak actually phenomenally. I really enjoyed the interview. Thanks so much. We'd love to have you on anytime.
Definitely.
I do have your number, so let's stay in touch. Enjoy Miami. It's the weather. I'm assuming is much better than it is here. So,
if we win if we're playing in the Natty, I'd love to join you guys again and hop back on here. So
let's do it. Let's do it.
Awesome, we'll do. All right, everybody. That was Jake Butt, former Michigan tight end, Michigan man himself. So well spoken.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
He needs a career in broadcasting.
I really enjoyed listening to him. That was great. We do got to go to break. When we get back, Pittsburgh and Michigan State. We're gonna have a familiar face call in to talk about Michigan State's game against Pitt. But before we go, I do got to tell you, on Friday, 5:30 to 7:30, myself, Braylon Edwards, and Stick will be doing the Michigan pregame show live from the Woodward Sports Studios. It's going to be a blast live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, the same places as always, and the Woodward Sports app. It's going to be a blast. I'm excited. I really am. Nothing better. You get to finish the pregame show at 7:30. The game's on. I'll make the drive home. Get home about 8 o'clock. Open up my box of Cheez-Its. Get some Oreos.
Cheez-Its all over you.
I always eat horribly whenever there's like a really good game on. So
it's all right.
Damn me.
Got to keep the dad bod.
I'm part of the problem in this country. All right, guys. We got to go to break. We'll see when we get back.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it. Spin. Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer.
We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
The former Heisman frontrunner himself, Kenneth Walker, Peyton Thorne, Jaden Reed, and Mel Tucker. Well, unfortunately, they won't have their premier running back, but Michigan State does play Pittsburgh tonight. Or, excuse me. Yeah, it is tonight, actually. I'm not losing my mind. 7:30 against Pitt. Is it 9:30 or 7:30?
I believe it's 7 p.m.
7 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
So I was just totally off. All right, great. Well, we do have somebody calling in who's actually down in Georgia.
Making
for
the
game.
trip.
Made the trip. Drove by himself. Got to give him credit. I'm proud of him. Alex Mayer joins the Morning Woodward Show. Alex, how was the drive? That's what I want to know first.
The drive was very rough.
Did you pick up any
very
hookers
long.
on the way?
Nope, didn't have time for that, unfortunately.
All right, no problem. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, so it lasted me about a good 12 hours. Yep. And the whole time I was driving through the mountains of Kentucky and Tennessee, it was pouring rain and it was dark out.
Did you see Kennedy on the way there?
I
I don't think Montana runs through on your way to Georgia, does it? All right, Alex, look, jokes aside, I'm glad you're down there. Hope you're having a great time. I heard you're staying at the Motel 4. Is that where you're at? Motel 6,
Motel
whatever they
6.
call it? Yeah. All right, well, listen, man, make sure your door's locked and put like a chair up against
Oh
it.
my God. So, okay, move on. Let's get this started.
Listen, man, I've heard some stories. I don't know. I'm just looking out for the kid.
That's
Put
all.
a chair up.
Listen, I'm just looking out
That's
for him.
all hotels.
I don't care.
If someone knocks, don't
Whether
answer.
he's on, whether he's at Motel
Listen,
6 or
Alex,
Hampton Inn Suites.
hear me out. Alex,
or
pay,
the Marriott.
Alex, pay very close attention. Never get caught in a Motel 6 laying down in bed watching TV because you never know when someone's going to barge through that door. All right? So...
That's what I was doing all last night. Should I be scared?
Checking the window every 10 minutes. All right, let's get into this.
All right, Alex, I do got to ask you, expectations going into tonight. No Kenneth Walker, and not only expectations for the game, but how important of a game is this for Mel Tucker, or do you think the job he already did this season is more than enough ammunition for him in terms of recruiting?
Yeah, you could make an argument that Mel Tucker already did enough because he had a great recruiting class this past signing period, finished 5th in the Big Ten Conference and 21st in the country as a whole. And the highlight of that is he had a total of 6 recruits in his class come from the state of Georgia. So you can tell that high school kids playing high school football in the state of Georgia were watching Mel Tucker very closely, saw the success they had this season, and wanted to be a part of that. Now, does that mean that this isn't an important game for Michigan State? No. If Mel Tucker wants to continue his recruiting prowess, this is a big game that he has to win.
Is it because
with that being said,
Michigan football, and look, I know program tradition-wise, there's obviously different levels, and Michigan State is trying to elevate itself, but Michigan, all those years under Harbaugh, lost all the bowl games, and we're still able to put out good recruiting classes. And I think when you have a guy like Mel Tucker, who's a respected coach, who has deep connections in the South, I don't think, Alex, he's going to have any issue recruiting players, even if he loses this bowl game, right?
No, you're absolutely right. And
I know.
going back to if
yeah. I'm sorry, Alex.
When are you ever wrong, Adam? Why would I ever doubt you?
Oh, man.
But as for this game itself, the number one storyline, as you said, is Kenny Pickett for Pittsburgh and Kenneth Walker III for Michigan State will not be playing. Obviously, I would say that Michigan State's at an advantage because, one, I don't think Peyton Thorne gets enough credit for the performance he had this season. He was a very efficient quarterback, and he did a great job of hitting his targets. Jaden Reed and Jalen Naylor, who I'm happy to announce will be back for this game. Jay Johnson, offensive coordinator, announced that he will be back from his injury that he suffered in the Michigan game back in October. But Michigan State fans should not fret, not worry about Kenneth Walker missing this game. Jordan Simmons and Elijah Collins are his backup. Simmons received the second most carries on the team this year, made the most of them, averaging 4.7 yards per carry. And Elijah Collins didn't put up gaudy numbers, but Michigan State fans will remember that back in 2019, he led this team with 988 yards rushing. So I'm not worried in that department, and I think the Spartans win this game, actually.
All right, I like it. Alex, I do have to ask you for a prediction. I will share mine, and then Jeff can share his. I've got State winning a shootout. I think Bull defense just don't show up. Give me 38-27. I don't think Pitt are going to be able to match the offense of Michigan State. They still have Peyton Thorne. They still have their top receiver. I think Michigan State will be just fine.
Yeah, Michigan. This game is going to be a barn burner. People make the whole fuss about Michigan State secondary is dead last in the entire country. Well, the Pittsburgh secondary is not great in its own either. They finished 12th in the ACC conference this year and 105th in FBS, averaging around 280 yards given up through the air per game. And Pittsburgh, they're known for scoring points. They have the best scoring offense in the conference this year, 43 points per game. The key for Michigan State is just don't become one-dimensional on offense. You can tell that throughout this whole entire season, when they were limited on the ground or limited through the air, that's when they struggled to win games. You look at the Indiana game in mid-October, they only put up 20 points because they couldn't get Kenneth Walker III going. And then in the late September game against Nebraska, they just could not get out of their own way and ended up having to win that game in overtime. So the key for Michigan State is just if the run game is not going early because you're struggling to adapt and not having Kenneth Walker III, do not give up on it. Throw in some play action, throw in some bootlegs, get the pass game going, and the run will come along with it. I say Michigan State wins this game 28-24.
All right, close game for you, Alex. Well, look, Alex, I hope you stay safe. Enjoy your time down at the game. Get some great interviews. I hope you have a blast. Do drive safe. Remember, Motel 6s never get caught naked watching TV. It is a sign of death. Somebody will barge in that door, so be very careful.
Any hotel
sounds like a personal experience.
It's not any Hotel 6, Fish. It's the Motel 6, all right? I don't know how. Look, Alex, well, we'll talk about this later.
Oh,
I can't do this
Off
on air.
the air.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. All right, Alex. Thanks for calling in, buddy. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Go Green.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. That was Alex Mayer.
Love Alex, man.
Technical director and assistant producer for The Bottom Line. One of my favorite people here.
He's
down
great.
at the game. Kid knows the stuff about Michigan State. I got to give him credit. We got to go to break. When we get back, Aaron Rodgers again, his future, making the headlines. Does he have a future in Green Bay? He's going to allegedly make the decision quick. This guy never stops talking. I love him. Just never stops talking, though. We'll get to that after the break.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Something we love.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. Guys, I have a Motel 6 story to share with you, but I'll do it later. I'm not going to do it right now. I want to get into Aaron Rodgers.
Are you actually going to share it on the air?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do it later.
Okay.
I've deviated way too much
during
from the show
mailbag?
today. Huh?
During mail?
Can we not talk about this, Fish?
I asked...
Thank you. He muted his mic for those who couldn't see what he just did. Aaron Rodgers in the headline again. Jeff, first let's talk about Aaron and the Packers. Do you see them finding common ground this offseason and making a deal quickly, or is he gone?
I think...
And when I say he's gone, they got to trade him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the interesting part is Aaron Rodgers, how he restructured his contract. Because last year he restructured his contract. His contract now, he's set to make, 30-something million this year. Next year is 1 year. It's $40-something million. And the reason for that is because they have to reschedule it. You have to put years on that contract. So if a year ago, Adam, I would say he's out. But the more the season progresses, it doesn't make sense why he would be out. Because look about it. What are the options? You have Pittsburgh. No, that's a downgrade, not only roster-wise, but listen, Matt LaFleur has proven to be a great offensive head coach. They've worked well together. At least 11 wins the last couple seasons. I don't see Denver. Why the hell would he join Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert's division? I don't see that happening. And with Vic Fangio as head coach, might I add, I don't see it happening. Although the roster's there. Green Bay makes the most sense. Now, the drama, Brian Gutekunst, all that stuff. Aaron Rodgers, there's things in articles being put out that he's kind of, patched that relationship together with Brian the GM. But listen, man, I don't see a scenario where he leaves, and I don't see a team that he leaves to that gives him a better chance to win than Green Bay. He's in a division, the NFC North, where he is going to win it every single year, at least for the next few years until he retires. I don't see what team in this division is going to challenge him. Minnesota needs to figure out their quarterback. Justin Fields is his first year in the league. The Lions don't have a team together. I don't see him leaving, although I get the drama. I get the years of him not feeling included in not only decision-making, but just what they want to do in the offseason. I get that, but let's be honest, man. I mean, the Packers already messed up trying to take Aaron Rodgers' replacement this early. I mean, they should have focused on just building the roster. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still playing like an MVP. He might win back-to-back MVPs. Now, what would be interesting is this. Now, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers would do it, but if he does get to a Super Bowl, let's say he loses. If he wins, he's staying, I'm assuming. I would assume Aaron Rodgers is a weird individual, but I'm assuming he would stay. If he loses and he leaves, I could see it, but where to, Adam? That's the question. That's a better situation.
I can give
Maybe
you a lot
the
of
49ers?
places.
Maybe the 49ers would be
No.
great. No, name one.
How? We can't go to the Niners.
Name a team.
Denver?
No. Hell
Carolina?
No. Hell no.
Well, I'm not saying they're a better
Situational-wise.
situation. No, there's no better situation
Then he's
than
not
staying
leaving.
in Green Bay.
Yeah,
well, that's not true. They can trade him. They could trade him to Carolina, Denver. They could trade him to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. There are options and suitors. If Aaron Rodgers is available,
They're
you
not
think
trading.
what you got for Stafford was a lot? You're getting 4 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers, at least. So look, I think they salvage. Look, guys, don't act like it's not out of the realm of possibility that this dude just throws up middle fingers and walks away from the game. He disowned his own family. You think he wouldn't leave the Green Bay Packers? He had to talk to his sister and his parents. You think he won't just up and leave Green Bay, Wisconsin? You think he cares about the $40 million? Dude's on the Pat McAfee show once a week. Hosted Jeopardy. If Aaron Rodgers retired tomorrow, he could go live with the bears in the forest and chill for the rest of his life. He doesn't have a problem with money. You think he cares about the $40 million? $40 million's nice, don't get me wrong. But you think he actually cares? He quoted saying, when I make a decision on my future, it's going to be quick. I'm not going to stall it out, and I'm not going to leave the franchise in a bad position. So, if he decides to retire and take a year hiatus, well, that screws the Green Bay Packers. But if he sticks around and tells them you need to trade me, well then, good luck. Because one, they're going to demand a lot. It's going to be ugly.
It's going to be
the
real.
Packers trading their franchise quarterback, the one who replaced Brett Favre. I mean, it is.
Next up, Jordan Love.
Well, I don't look. They're going to draft another quarterback. They
think
know
so?
Yeah, they're not going to make this mistake. Look, Green Bay, for all the crap you can give them, they're not a dysfunctional organization. They took a chance on Jordan Love.
Yeah.
They missed.
Way too early.
I don't think so. He was the Trey Lance of that draft. He hadn't had many games. The film was unbelievable. Mega arm talent. No. That was Trey Lance. The same thing.
I would disagree only because Trey Lance, I get the experience-wise. He had a good sophomore year. Junior year, I think he had almost as many interceptions as touchdowns. So you could argue
but
in a better
the point was
system.
the talent. He was just as talented as Trey Lance.
I agree with
That's
you.
what people thought of him that draft.
Yeah.
And when they took him at number 30, 31?
They traded up, yeah.
They traded up. They wanted to get their guy. The future with Aaron was uncertain. What's the problem? They drafted Jimmy Garoppolo in the second round, did the Patriots. Nobody made a fuss about that. or the third round they traded him for a second, something like that.
Right, and now he's gone. Yeah,
you need to be drafting basically a quarterback every year in the third, fourth round, hoping that you can groom one of them, or do you take a flyer and you take a risk and you draft one in the first round when you have a quarterback that's aging? I don't see a problem with what the Packers did. Now they missed, but how many times have they hit? You're gonna miss some. I'm not gonna destroy the Packers for drafting Jordan Love. So, look, I think they have a lot of work to do. They need to mend whatever problems they have with Aaron Rodgers. But I think where it gets interesting is what does it mean for the NFC North next season if Aaron Rodgers is not suited up in
open season.
A Green Bay Packers jersey? Who's the favorite in the division?
Well, I think it's still, you have to say the Packers because of the complete team, but I think it's a toss-up. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has been the king of the NFC North. If he's out of this division, I mean, maybe you argue Minnesota, but like at that point, I mean, they're beatable. So I think it's a toss-up. Aaron Rodgers has been, I mean, he likes to call, I own the Bears. He owns the NFC North.
If you're a contending team, since you guys want to disagree with this, if you're a contending team and you feel you have a Super Bowl roster and you're just a quarterback away, and I told you that Aaron Rodgers was on the market, what would you give up for him? You're telling me you wouldn't give up multiple first-round picks?
Do you think that situation
to go for a Super Bowl?
But I get if you're a team, of course. But do you think
No, that's the point. Because Aaron Rodgers is not going to the Houston Texans. He's not going somewhere with a team that's not ready to win now. No. If he's being traded, he is going to Pittsburgh, Denver,
and that's his
one of
decision.
These teams. Yes, one of these teams. He has a no-trade clause. One of these teams that is, let's say, you believe they have a Super Bowl roster. You don't think they wouldn't be willing to give up one of their key players and 2-3 first-round picks? You really don't think they would do that? They would do it in a heartbeat. Why? They would be immediate Super Bowl contenders. And for those 2-3 years that they would be contenders, it would offset the 2-3 years they lost first-round picks for.
Oh, okay.
And that's the risk you take in the NFL. I want to win now, or I want to rebuild. There's no in between. And when you're one of those teams that has the roster, the Cleveland Browns, Super Bowl roster, don't have the quarterback. Put Aaron Rodgers on the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah. Then
they're Super Bowl contenders.
Definitely.
That's my point. And you're telling me in Cleveland, you wouldn't be willing to give up 2-3 first-round picks? Maybe even 4? For the 2-3 years of Aaron Rodgers? Giving you the top of the division every single year potentially? And getting to multiple AFC title games? You wouldn't do that in a heartbeat?
But you got a lot of things go into it. Like Aaron Rodgers, was he 38 years old? So, and he's still special. That's not the question. But you're trading for a guy, you're giving up the whole house for him, and you're our Super Bowl contender. But my point is, those teams are all, and I get it's not Aaron's necessarily, it's his choice. He has no trade clause. Those teams are significantly worse. I mean, the Browns, obviously, I'll give you that. The roster is there. But if he goes to Pittsburgh, I mean, best quarterback in the division, not the best team. I mean, I don't see them
best
going.
Best defense in the division.
Yeah.
Yes, they need weapons, but what have the Pittsburgh Steelers done all this time? Look, I don't like Chase Claypool. I think he needs to be exonerated from the NFL and existence because he's on TikTok. But that's a whole different conversation. The fact is they can draft talent, especially at the wide receiver position. The Steelers have a knack for doing it. They can address that in a year. I am not worried. So, yes, if Aaron Rodgers is available and I have a Super Bowl roster, I'm going all in.
That I won't argue.
Like the Denver Broncos did with Peyton Manning. Like the Bucs did with Tom Brady. They went all in. They know in 2 years their salary's going to be totally messed up, their cap. They know they're not going to be able to afford Godwin and all these players. They know that. But damn it, for these 2-3 seasons, we're going to be not only relevant, we're going to be in title games. And they already won a Super Bowl. If I told you it took the next 4 first-round picks of your team to get a franchise quarterback from another team and that you would win a Super Bowl in the next 4 years, you wouldn't do it? The hell you would. Football is about winning opportunity.
Yeah.
And when you're a team with the opportunity to compete and you're a quarterback away and there's one on the market, quote-unquote LA, you do it. LA already won the trade. You guys aren't paying attention. Jared Goff, last season with the Rams, 9-6. 20 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Matthew Stafford on pace to throw 40 touchdowns. Double the amount of production and touchdowns that Jared Goff did that final year. They already won the trade. Imagine if he just does that for the next 2 years and they compete. they won the trade in their eyes.
Yeah, they have to win some playoff games.
Imagine, not only that. Imagine he sticks around for 4 or 5 years. You got a franchise quarterback for 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick. Excuse me, guys. You do this trade in a heartbeat. You do it in a heartbeat.
My question is, and it's just what gives them the best opportunity to win, and I believe Green Bay.
I think Green Bay too,
by far.
But if he leaves and he goes to a Super Bowl roster, but wouldn't you be willing to give up all that capital?
And I get what you're saying, but you keep saying Super Bowl roster. I don't see
there are
him.
multiple teams with Super Bowl roster.
If he
with
goes
a
to Denver,
quarterback like Aaron,
they're not making this with Vic Fangio as your head coach, and him and Aaron.
With Aaron Rodgers,
no.
The Broncos are going to be AFC contenders, 100%.
They're in the same division with Patrick and Justin Herbert. You love the Chargers. Like
the Broncos are what 7-7 right now, 8-7, without a quarterback.
No, listen.
Come on.
I'm talking
Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock.
This is the best year Vic Fangio's had, and he's 500.
I don't care. I get Aaron Rodgers. Like we're forgetting we're getting a top 3 quarterback in the NFL.
So you would argue
right now.
Aaron's been a big part instead of Matt LaFleur in Green Bay.
Of course. You can't win without a quarterback.
I get what you're saying, but so your argument, you got Matt LaFleur in Green Bay.
Yes.
A lot of success.
Yes.
That success can be duplicated. At least we're talking about 11, 12 wins. That's what you expect, right?
No, not just that. Look.
You can go to Denver and win them in games.
What they're doing in Green Bay is impressive, okay? Having said that, if Aaron Rodgers goes to a team like Denver, like Cleveland, are you going to tell me they're not going to be favorites in the AFC or one of the favorites?
I would agree Cleveland. They've got a stacked
and Denver.
roster.
Denver's got a great defense. They've got a solid run game, deep backfield, good O-line, and the wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy. You have Noah Fant at tight end.
Yeah.
They've got pieces.
Yeah, the team's stacked.
They need a quarterback. And if you get a quarterback of the highest level, they're going to be contenders. So, yeah, I would mortgage 2-3 first-round picks for it.
I agree.
Totally disagree that with the Rams won the trade. Stafford has done nothing Goff didn't do there. Stafford is in his first year, you dumbass. And excuse me for calling you a dumbass, but you are. Let's just wait and see and watch Stafford disappear in games. All right, he's totally flopped in 4 games. 4 games in which they've lost, one of which actually they won against Minnesota. But we want to disregard all the other good games he had, right? We want to disregard the game against Tampa Bay. Stop. You know why Los Angeles won the trade? Because they got Matthew Stafford for the next 4 to 5 years.
Right. Big picture.
You have Jared Goff for the next 2 to 3 years. Now, you want to talk to me about winning divisions, winning playoff games, all that stuff? Great. He's on pace to win the division. They're first in the division right now. They control their destiny. You want to talk about playoff wins? I can't judge the guy until he plays a damn playoff game with the Rams. So you sitting here saying, "Oh, well, they didn't win the trade." No, they didn't. Totally disagree. Stafford disappears. When are you just going to admit Stafford is actually a very good quarterback? And now he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady. We all know this. But he's a very good quarterback. He is a franchise quarterback. And when you have him, it makes winning a lot easier. And if you don't want to admit that, I can't help you. And I told you, I already read you the number. The 25 years from 1998 to 2021. In that course of 25 years, when Matthew Stafford hasn't started a game, including his time in Detroit, the Lions are 54-177-1. But Matthew Stafford is always the problem. Look, he made mistakes. He didn't show up in the playoff games. Guys, I'm with you. I know. But he's never had a Sean McVay, Les Snead. A franchise ran the way it's ran in Los Angeles. He's never had a defense like this. He has an opportunity to change his narrative. So excuse me. I see a guy flourishing somewhere else, and I'm giving him the credit he has earned with his play. Second highest passer rating in the NFL.
Yeah,
But he's a joke, right? He disappears. I get it. Don't come in the chat and try pushing some BS narrative. Because one, not only am I going to call it out, but two, you're not going to get anywhere with me. You're not going to get anywhere with me. You want to sit there and discredit a guy who's on pace to throw for 40 touchdowns, have the second highest passer rating in the NFL? Be my guest. Playing at a second or third highest level right now. Besides Brady and Rodgers, he's up there. Better than Kyler, better than Dak. But we don't want to give him credit because he played in Detroit. I get it, guys. I get you're frustrated and upset. But you know what? When he does win the division and the Rams close it out, what are you going to tell me then? What are you going to tell me, God forbid, he wins a playoff game? A playoff game. Oh, but no, then you're going to tell me, well, he was there to win the Super Bowl. He sucks.
Super Bowl.
There's one team that wins every year. There's one team that wins every year. Excuse me.
I want to ask you this. This is just hypotheticals. We're just talking at this point, and I get both sides. I'm tending to agree with you because I'm a big Matthew Stafford guy. I believe in him. But would the question be, you say they've won the trade. If the Rams this year, let's say
both teams won the trade. I did this earlier in the year.
I know. We agree there. I'm just saying, and from the Rams' perspective, they got Matthew. They traded away 2 first-round picks, a third-round, whatever it is. Now, let's say they win a playoff game this year. They face Dallas. They beat Dallas. They lose the following playoff game.
In the divisional round.
Yeah, right. The next year, what are you saying they won the trade? Both teams won the trade, but are the Rams set already? But does Matthew have to make it to a Super Bowl, at least win some more?
You have to get to a Super Bowl, yes, because the expectations of the team.
Okay,
but I'm not going to hold real expectations, right? If I'm a Packers fan, I want to get to the Super Bowl this year. I've been wanting to get to the Super Bowl for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
we were short in the 2 NFC Championship games. We lost them both. They have real expectations. In Detroit, if you go 9-7, you get a freaking parade down Woodward.
You're not wrong.
Now the Rams have the expectation, and they made the move of trading for Stafford so they can get back to the Super Bowl. That is the clear expectation. We all know this. And if they do so, of course they're going to be happy. But if you're going to tell me that they win the division, let's say Stafford plays there for 4 more seasons, 4 years total. They win 3 divisions. They get to 2 NFC Championship games. And maybe they never get to a Super Bowl. I don't know. Only one team from each conference gets to the Super Bowl every year.
Right.
Is that really a failure?
Yeah, no, that's still successful.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
Like, we want to take it to the extreme because it doesn't fit with our narrative. But in reality, the Rams are already better. They're more productive on offense. The quarterback that they have now is outproducing, doubling the numbers of the quarterback they had before. That's not arguable. Yeah. Sorry. And it's not padding stats. It actually isn't.
And he doesn't have Todd Gurley. I mean, this isn't. I mean, Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl. I mean, we get this.
They win a playoff game.
Yeah.
And when they win the division, and if they do, and if they win a playoff game, Detroit, I hope you wake up on that Monday morning, splash some water in your face, get a large coffee because Lord knows you're going to need it, and get ready for what I'm going to do up here. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I hope to God you wake up and you realize, you know what? Maybe we didn't surround him with what he needed. Right. Whether it was the coach, the GM, the roster, etc., etc. Maybe, just maybe, it was the organization that failed him. Because I have another organization that clearly is winning with him. Why couldn't we build a winner with him in 12 years? I hope you ask yourselves that question. Because as much as I don't like the playoff performances, as much as I don't like the few seasons where they actually were good and they made mistakes and they lost against winning teams, as much as I don't like any of that, he's still a franchise quarterback.
No doubt. And
in the NFL, you can win with franchise quarterbacks. I gave you the stat of what your 25 years were, the last 25 with Stafford and without him. It matters having a quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. I know that. But I don't need that to win a Super Bowl. And the Rams very likely could be chasing that.
No question.
All right, we got to go to break. Oh, my goodness. We missed a break. Well, we went over.
Double break.
We're not doing a double break.
I'm joking.
Guys, we're going to do a mixture of confidence in the the NFC North. We're going to give our vote of confidence in the NFC North, and I want you guys to start getting your questions prepared. So we'll do that right after the break. Vote of confidence from Jeff and I in the NFC North. Who do we like moving forward, and which questions do you have for us in the chat? Mailbag time. We'll see you after the break.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
right, Motel 6 story. You guys are asking for it. I'll give it to you. I think I was 19, 20 years old.
When you say you guys, you mean us, right? Or are people in the comment section we asking for it?
Well, people in the comments are asking for it.
that's
Kennedy
nice.
is. But I'll share the story. I was about 19, 20, 21 years old. I don't recall what age, but I was extremely young. And me and my cousin took a little road trip. And
Is this Wasim?
No. Different cousin.
Gotcha.
So we take a road trip, and we're going down south, and of course we're tired.
Yep.
And the feasible option when you're a 19, 20-year-old, you don't have money, is like, all right, we'll sleep in the car. But we were spoiled 20-year-olds, and we wanted to sleep at the Motel 6.
You mean Motel 4?
So we grab a room at the Motel 6, and we're in there, we're laying down, watching TV, just trying to fall asleep, and some dude just starts knocking. And I'm not saying knocking like politely. I'm talking aggressive pounding on the door. And I'm laying there in my underwear.
Fish is setting up the scene.
Exactly. I'm laying there in my underwear. Just like waiting to die. I accept it. I'm like, all right, I am going to die. And this dude is pounding on the door, asking for his girl. I don't know what the hell he was complaining about. And I had like a moment.
It sounds like wrong room.
It was the wrong room, clearly.
Clearly.
Well,
yeah.
I know
And when he heard
clearly,
two white
but-
guys like frantically saying, "You got the wrong room," I think he kind of like left it alone and left. But the point was, for that like minute and a half, felt like an hour. And I looked at the door and I'm like, this dude is he's just gonna barge through, and he's gonna kill us, and I'm gonna die at a Motel 6, and I'm never gonna have kids. I'm never going to get a job that I wanted. Like, my life flashed before me in that room. One of the scariest nights of my life. Fish, I'm going to mute your mic. Stop it. But yeah, that's my Motel 6 story. Some dude randomly knocks on the door, asking for his girl, screaming at the top of his lungs, pounding the door in the scariest way. I thought he was going to break the door. And again, I was a kid. Scared the living hell out of me. All right. Adam, what do you think of James Skalski has a possible day 3 pick? Dude seems like a type of person and player that would fit with this team.
All I know Skalski for is his targeting penalty. I think it was against Ohio State or whatever that was on Justin Fields, and because the guy's been in Clemson for like 6 years. Isn't he like a 6-year senior, dude? I think he's like 20-something years old.
Look, I don't mind it. Look, when you're talking day 3, you take chances on players, right? And some of those day 3 guys don't even make the roster.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you have nothing to lose. When you hit on guys in day 3, that's when you build a team of success for the future. That's when you win Super Bowls, right? So yeah, no, look, Brad Holmes has got this.
I trust him. Yeah, I'm not going to make suggestions for him.
I can't wait for the season to end though, because then we can actually start diving into the draft, doing mock drafts, actually talking about day 1, day 2, day 3 guys that we are interested in. So draft time is always fun, but the season is still ongoing, so I haven't dived too much into it. Having said that, Adam, what are you placing your large bet? Are you placing a large bet over the next few days? I am. The wife is not happy about it, but you got to ride Michigan 8.5. I already booked it a long time ago. I put a lot of money on it.
Oh, God.
She's not happy about it. So she'll be stressed watching the game with me on Friday night, so it'll be fun. So I think that's the first time she's going to watch a game with me and actually like understand the emotion and roller coaster of events I go through during a game.
I thought you said we don't watch games you bet on.
Huh?
Don't you know?
It's the Michigan game. I have to watch it.
Okay,
but when I say I don't watch games I bet on, I'm talking like when I bet on the WNBA because I'm like a degenerate, and I bet on like cricket or something like that. I'm not talking about like actual good football games. Like if I bet on the Jets and the Ravens, I'm probably watching the game.
Okay.
So to clarify that, Adam, if you were made a dictator, what kind of numbers could you put up in your first term in Ohio? Let's just say I hit it out of the park.
Where would you go first?
I would make
Cleveland,
Ohio.
right? Oh,
I would
yeah,
make
there you
Ohio
go.
like just this vegetative state. I don't know.
Okay.
I would put up numbers. Why are you guys putting me on the spot here? You're just trying to get me canceled.
This man.
First year as a dictator, Ohio.
You can't get canceled.
Oh man.
Cancelling's
All right, Adam. If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, will you apologize to Jackson Mahomes? AC, absolutely not.
No.
If anything, it'll make me want to kill him even more.
Because you'll see him a lot more.
I hope to go. Like, guys, look. I think everybody gets to a point in their lives when they need to make like mature decisions, and I'm waiting for Patrick Mahomes to divorce his wife and his family. I think he really needs to do it. You can't. I don't want to go out to Mexican fiesta, and I'm trying to enjoy my guac and chips, and you're sitting there doing this crap. What the hell is that? What the hell is even that?
In the
freaking
water,
losers,
you know
man.
what? You didn't even mention the water bottle too. Dumping the
Throwing
water
at people.
like, come on.
During a night that was supposed to honor.
I'll let Kelly slide with the pretzel.
I don't care about Kelly. This guy is a nuisance to society.
Kelly's okay for throwing the pretzel. Jackson?
This is why our country is falling apart. People like this.
Yeah.
Our country is falling apart because of people like Jackson Mahomes.
Hitting the whoa. You know
The
what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what the whoa.
No,
I believe.
you're just as messed up as all these kids, man.
I don't have a TikTok, but trust me, I have a girlfriend, so I know what the whoa is. But Jackson Mahomes, man.
You're killing me.
If I was a dictator, that's the only guy on my hit list. All right, I'm sorry, but I love Jackson Mahomes.
Welcome to the dark side. Listen, I believe it.
Mahomes needs to pull an Aaron Rodgers.
I'm telling you, he needs to pull an Aaron Rodgers. Disown your family. Disown him. What do you have to lose? You got $400 million, dude. You got this. Go start a new family. Do you want to pay somebody to? I'll be your family. Like, it's all good. You can do it. You have $400 million, man. You can pull it off. Well, you're gonna have to pay child alimony. Okay, yeah, that's kind of crappy. But hey, man, you dodged the bullet. I did you a favor. You guys, I'm telling you, you're missing the boat here. Jeff, vote of confidence on the NFC North moving forward. Chicago Bears, are you optimistic or pessimistic about the Bears moving forward?
Honestly, I'm gonna refrain until I see who they hire next. And if they get a home run, then definitely. I mean, Justin Fields.
My confidence is thumbs down.
So you're out on Justin.
Thumbs down. GM and coach got to go, man. That's like they're going to be in a full rebuild.
If we're going that way, then yeah, I'm not confident. I'm saying based on who they get. No, right now, no, hell no.
Right, with the information you have right now.
Hell no.
Yeah,
hell
so
no.
me,
Bears can burn
I'm
in a hole.
pessimistic about the Bears. Vikings.
Hell no. Because if we're going now, then it's a dysfunction. I mean, they got to decide what they want to do with Mike Zimmer, Kirk Cousins. They have a mess over
there. They have
there,
a lot of decisions to make, but I love the GM. So I'm going to be optimistic about the Vikings. If they can either A, move off of Kirk and get the young guy in, or B,
and they have to hit.
Get a better coach, and they hit, they're going to be just fine. Lions. Actually, we'll save the Lions for last. Green Bay Packers, moving forward. Vote of confidence?
Vote of confidence because I like, listen, Matt LaFleur, big fan of his, and I think even Jordan Love, we haven't seen enough out of him yet, but still, man, I mean, it's going to suck for this Packers team if Aaron walks out the door along with Devontae Adams, of course. If those two guys are gone, maybe you don't have a vote of confidence, but as of right now, man, I think they're doing just fine. Packers, they'll figure it out one way or another.
AC, would would the United States have won World War II without Stalin?
Oh, boy.
Listen, you can make the argument they needed him. Somebody had to go into Germany. Somebody had to fight that fight while the Allies were clearing up Europe. And they were fighting in Japan. Somebody had to do it. So, yeah, no, Stalin played a big part in the war effort. I don't think, look, he was a dictator. Yeah, he killed a lot of people. Yeah, but he played his part in the World War. So you got to give him credit there. Packers, I'm going to say optimistic. Look, they're a good franchise, well-run. Even if Rodgers leaves, I don't see them sucking for 10, 20, 30 years like the Lions have. They're going to figure it out in the next 3 to 5 years. With Matt LaFleur, without him, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. The Packers are not due to suck. If that was the case, the Steelers would suck, and all these other teams that just get it right all the time. Last team, Detroit Lions. Vote of confidence in the future. I think we're both going to agree they get thumbs up.
And that's definitely for the future. Obviously, right now, even right now, I mean, they're not winning games, but you're seeing growth in not only in visual players, but team success. You know, they're playing better, missing a lot of key guys. That's what gives me confidence, man. I mean, Dan Campbell's getting better from a play calling standpoint. He's cleaning up his fourth down decisions in terms of when and when not to do them. So they've given me confidence, man. I mean, I've always loved Aaron Glenn, but I think the offense has come a long way, Adam, this year to really give me confidence.
I'm excited for it. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning here on The Morning Show. Jeff, welcome back. Nice to have you back.
So glad to be here. Tomorrow,
we have a special guest
show
in the studio, a name I cannot mention, but she is a she. And she will be joining the Morning Woodward Show starting Monday.
January 3rd.
I'm so excited to have her part of the team. We'll be teasing it all weekend on who she is. But Monday will be her first official day. So excited to have her part of the team. Fish, thanks for knocking and causing me PTSD. That was a great 30 seconds.
I can't set up the story.
No, thanks, buddy. You really helped me there. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Michigan play tomorrow. Michigan State tonight. Good luck to the Spartans. We hope they come out with a victory. Be big. Have a great Thursday, everybody. Yep. And tomorrow is Friday, so I guess you have that to look forward to. Pack show tomorrow. A lot of football.
New Year's Eve.
Michigan football, college football playoffs. So much football.
Great
guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.